Hey, what up, everybody? Steve Breach coming to you. My morning, honestly, hasn't started off that well. I had to give my wife and my sister a ride this morning. Took them over there, and then on the way back home, I was like, I don't do this all this often, but I'm going to stop off and get some McDonald's breakfast, pull up to the drive-thru, order my food, drive up to pay for it, and I don't have my wallet. So I have to drive off from the McDonald's. My morning is already in the shit can. Basically, right now, I'm just waiting, hoping that the mailman, the same mailman that Zach has, the disgruntled mad mailman from 2010, if you can remember that video. That's a classic one to try to find on Punk Fans channel. But what the fuck am I talking about? I don't know. My morning's in the shit can. I'm hoping that the 25's Greatest Rivalries Blu-ray will get dropped off before I have to go to work today. I can watch that before I head off. Last night's main event, Monday Night Raw. Curtis Axel scored another big win. This time over John Cena. 2 weeks in a row, he's beat two guys. Out of everybody they're pumping out there, new on Monday Night Raw, it seems that Axel is the one guy that's getting the least amount of respect, getting his least due. I want to give all these guys, a fair shake once they're up there. I made one joke on Twitter last night about how Paul Heyman could be out there, putting over Axel with a straight face, and this is how he used to talk to the ECW roster when he was telling them all the checks were gonna clear. Everybody knowing that all the ECW checks, bounced, and a lot of guys lost a lot of money because they never got paid, but just kept showing up to work because it was basically all they had, and they believed in Paul's vision because he was brainwashing them, and basically in the long run they never got paid for what they were doing and what they should have got. But all these guys. We've been asking for so long for new guys to be brought up to the main roster. Like, we're sick and tired of the guys we're seeing. And now that we're actually getting new guys, if you follow people on Twitter that make videos and you watch their videos, we're all bitching about the people that are coming up there. I like Big E Langston. I think he's got some stuff that he has to offer. I'm not the biggest fan of Axel because I think that what they're doing is basically, they're not really trying to give him like the John Cena push where they shove him down your throat, but it's almost like you can compare it to that. Like, weeks before, he became the new Paul Heyman guy, he was doing jobs, to everybody. If you are going to, give somebody a big push on Monday Night Raw, make sure the last time we didn't see them on WWE TV, on WWE Superstars, they lost. You can't lose on Superstars and be a star on Monday Night Raw. At least, if he lost on Superstars, make it a long time ago. Not the episode that aired right before Raw. This should have been a slow progression build. I think if he would have been if he would have showed up on Raw and he got a big win, people would have took notice. Almost like how, Goldberg was built up on WCW. I know we already have Ryback, and a lot of people compare him to Goldberg, but I'm just like, his first match, he got the jobber entrance. Hugh Morris came out, and Goldberg beat Hugh Morris, and it was like, whoa, who is this guy? We'd never seen him before. They didn't give any hype up before the match. He won the match, and then you're like, shock and awe, like, I want to see what he's going to do next week. He comes out next week, he beats that guy. McGillicuddy should have came out and beat some guys. Like, he could have beat Ryder one week, could have beat Santino another week, Tyson Kidd the third week, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, he's put together 3 wins in a row, and they just sort of act like it's not really that big of a deal, but he's getting some wins on his, on his resume, and then all of a sudden, Heyman taps him on the shoulder in the back one day, and he's like, hey, you're gaining a lot of momentum. How about you come with me, and I'll come with you, and we'll make a package deal. You're a Paul Heyman guy. Now you're gaining some value on your own, but with me, you become a better deal. So now all of a sudden it makes sense to why, McGillicuddy is getting built up, because he's actually been getting wins on his own. Now we have him coming out here and he got a bullshit count-out win. Or I don't even know if he really got counted out, if it was the match was just thrown out, and that's how he won it against Triple H. Last night, he's in a match with John Cena. John Cena comes out. He ends up getting in a separate fight with Ryback outside the ring. And because of that fight, he loses by countout. But in my mind, the second Ryback hit John Cena, shouldn't John Cena have been awarded the match by disqualification? I can't remember any time, like, if it's outside of the ring, some guy comes up and, he throws a blow at you in the head, why that's not a disqualification. But I guess it just didn't fit in with the storyline they were trying to run. But, I don't know. It's just crazy. I really like a lot of the other guys. They have the Wyatt family that's coming up. In my mind, honestly, if they're gonna, I don't really know what the heck they're gonna do with the Wyatt family to make us really like them. I hope that when they first get there, it seems like they have a little bit of buzz right now going. When the Shield showed up, they got thrown right into the main event, and everybody was all over them because they had Seth Rollins, formerly from Ring of Honor. Dean Ambrose is like the internet, love child. Everybody's in love with that guy. So it was like they were given instant credibility. But it seems like everybody else that they bring up, they're trying to showcase us, is like the internet's like, no, we don't want them. Even though for years we've been like, we don't want John Cena anymore. But I have no clue. How they're gonna make us, be believable. They committed. What was this, 2 years ago? When Tenzai came up. Tenzai got to beat CM Punk. Tenzai got to beat John Cena. He actually beat him in the ring, pinned him, covered him. 1, 2, 3. And then people took notice. I mean, it took a little bit longer for them to realize that it wasn't going to work. And then now he's the dancing fat guy, dancing out there with Brodus Clay. And he'll probably do that for the remainder of his contract. And then after that, I'm guessing they're going to let him go. I'm sure they're overpaying him for what they thought he was going to be doing. But they have to live up to their end of their contract that they gave him. But, McGillicuddy, Axel, he can't be going out there and just scoring count-out wins after count-out wins. You can't win the title that way. It's sort of funny. It reminds me of a guy that used to wrestle called the Berserker, who used to win all of his matches on Superstars by throwing guys out. And even as a kid, I was like, all right, like, I can see him being built up for the Royal Rumble because that's, like, his, like, expertise. And, like, I actually remember when Bobby Heenan picked him to win the Rumble on one of the episodes I marked out. Because I was like, yes! Somebody's thinking the same way I do. But it was like, even as a kid, I was like, he can't even win the Intercontinental World title if you put him in there. Because if it's just a count-out, he's not going to get anything. So, we'll have to see. I'm sure they have a longer plan that's in the works for him. You got to hope. But McGillicuddy beating guys by count-out just isn't working for me. It's not. Peace out, everybody. Have fun. Where's that mailman at?